Pinot Noir. So Pinot Noir is grown everywhere, almost everywhere, not exactly everywhere, but all over the world. So we have a couple representations of just a few selections that we have here. We do have quite a few Pinots because Pinot Noir is very versatile, especially depending on what part of the breed, part of the world that you get it from. It goes with fish, it goes with steaks, it goes with pasta, it goes really well with charcuterie, pate, things of that, cured meat, stuff like that. So what I like to do, what I like to talk to people about, I should say, instead of what I like to do, is I like to find out, okay, if somebody says, okay, I want a glass of Pinot Noir, or I want a bottle of Pinot Noir, the first thing I'll ask them is, there's a buzzword, there's two buzzwords, right, that help you understand styles. So there's old world versus new world. Basically, old world, the old style, European. We do have producers here in the United States that say that we make wines in an old world style. We don't need to get into that, but nonetheless. Then if you say new world, there's things like, the Americas, South America. Although they've been around for a long time, some of the newer styles, there's also newer techniques that are used in what we consider new world wines. So the first thing I'll ask a guest is like, are you more of an old world wine drinker or are you more of a new world wine drinker? If they don't know what that means, the easiest way to describe it is like, do you like to focus on the fruit aspect of things, or do you like to focus on more of like the earthy side of things? And as vague as that is, it helps me to determine what I'm going to try to turn these people onto. So these two happen to be what we consider new world wines. This is Fela. This is it's Sonoma for Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. I just happen to like because they're very approachable. This wine is big, ripe, fruity, not over the top. Little bit of touch of that. People talk about tannin in a city, blah, 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 blah. It's more of a feel in your mouth, so it's like a fuzzy feeling. There's two different types of tannins that you're gonna feel in your mouth. Up front's fruit, and the back is oak. That's not important right now. But the idea is everybody talks about dry. And what they refer to, they're looking for that dryness on the palate. This has got a touch of that dryness with this nice little punch of fruit, and this particular wine does have a little touch of oak on it. Again, we go into the new world. This is Oloroso. It comes out of Santa Rita Hills, which is Santa Barbara Appalachian area. And Santa Rita Hills I love it because it's a little bit cooler climate. You get what they call maritime influence, which is it's like a chilling aspect from being so close to the water. So you get these little softer fruits. Again, you get a lot of power because it's California. In California, we tend to, we tend to have a little bit more bold, rich style wines because, of course, our climate is a little bit warmer. Red Burgundy, which is Pinot Noir, made up of Pinot Noir, can be astronomically expensive for good reason because it's very, very limited. I mean, some producers will own like rows of vines and that's it. And then you get into things they're not just necessarily single vineyards or what they call monopoles. It's single rows of fruit that's produced, which there's some history behind that. We don't need to go into it. It has to do with politics actually, but nonetheless, Burgundy produces some of what I think is some of the most refined Pinot Noir that's on the planet. And this is a very, very good representation of it. This happens to be, it's Côte de Nuit, look it up on a map. So for it to carry that village level is a very special thing in Burgundy. Because again, the French, when it comes to Burgundy, there's a very specific way that they break it all down. They have what's called Grand Cru properties versus Premier Cru properties. They have things which are just basic Bourgogne, but they're like old vine, blah, 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 blah. There's all this other kind of crazy stuff. Again, if you want to try one of these that are great, talk to your wine steward. Tell them, I don't want to spend this or I don't mind spending this, whatever the case may be. If you've got a good wine steward, they're going to turn you into a great bottle of red Burgundy. I would love to drink red Burgundy every day. Unfortunately, it's not cost effective enough to do that. But nonetheless, it's in between a special occasion and like an everyday wine, this particular wine here. But go out, try it. Learn your vintages too. The thing is with the European wines, they are limited by laws of the things that they can do to manipulate the wines. We here in the States, we have what I consider good and better vintages. Over there, they can have catastrophic vintages, which sometimes they won't even make wines that even carry their label. They'll just sell out the fruit. When you look at the cost of Burgundy specifically, because it's so expensive to produce this wine, the consumer's going to have to help with that cost. And it's better, in my opinion, it's better to pay a little bit more to get a little better quality as opposed to buying, let's say, like a basic Burgundy. Let's buy something that's a little more special. It's going to cost you a little more money, but it's that much more enjoyable. So that's it on the red Burgundy side of things. So these are Pinot Noirs. You've got some good representation here. You know, even Germany, you can get Pinot Noir in Germany. But nonetheless, the idea is that just go out there, ask your wine steward, explore, taste. Pinot has many different faces, and it's so good with just about everything.